last month, Catholic excusegist Trent Horn released a video about the ontological argument for God's existence, and it's oddly very honest about the argument. Trent goes over the various kinds of ontological arguments and then even gives you the pushback from non-believers, people like me, who find these various arguments less than convincing and or compelling. Trent even offers someone like me an argument to reject the Christian God as God.
The argument's origin can be found in the writings of the 11th century saint and doctor of the church, Anselm of Canterbury. Anselm started with the idea that God is, quote, that which nothing greater can be conceived. If you think God is just a powerful creator of the universe who is made by some other God, then what you are thinking of is not God, because there is something greater than what you're thinking of.
So, because I can think of a God who is greater than the Christian God, a God who, for instance, refuses to create a place of evil and suffering into which he or she forces sentient beings without their consent, the Christian God is clearly not God. I can also imagine a God who simply forgives the vastly inferior beings he created, knowing full well the various sins they'd commit if he or she created them. Heck, he or she could even forgive people without a blood sacrifice. So, there you have it. Even if the Christian God exists, he or she is clearly not God, not the God. Glad we were finally, once and for all, able to put this one to bed. And my apologies for the whole he or she thing. I've just been reminded that I've been previously asked by women never to associate their gender with that genocidal monster. My bad. Once again, I'm me. Thanks for watching. Hold it. Sorry, I'm being told that my argument about the Christian God not being God or the God solves nothing, as there will surely be counter-arguments, and then counter-arguments to the counter-arguments, and then counter-arguments to those counter-arguments, and so on ad infinitum, which is why arguments are a poor substitute for actual evidence. The kind that actually makes things evident and gives you some resolution, where we're warranted in making at least some kind of provisional conclusion, while of course continuing to remain open to new evidence and the possibility that our previous conclusions might be wrong, or at least misinformed. One of the things that used to crack me up about Prager, my old buddy Dennis, is that he had a theory about absolutely everything. No matter what the topic, he had a theory, even if it just occurred to him in that moment. And then once he told you that theory, once it left his lips, well, that theory was just the truest thing anyone ever said. And he could see nothing but evidence in support of his theory. His friends, virtually all of us, used to find this quite amusing. This is all arguments are: theories, hypotheses, untested and unproven. They get you absolutely nowhere. What does the data say? And even then, what is the proper interpretation of the data? If we're talking about the supernatural, we don't even have a way to obtain data. That world is beyond our ability to examine. And worse yet, that world presents all kinds of challenges to the very concept of knowledge and data. As I've mentioned before, in Christianity, there is a powerful supernatural being who's hell-bent, pun intended, on deceiving all of us. So whatever supernatural event you think has occurred, you have no guarantee that said event is evidence of what you think it is. Satan could have raised Jesus from the dead, for instance, to send the world into thousands of years of totalitarianism, war, strife, and clapping on 1 and 3. Worst of all is the idea that a loving God would judge us on the evaluations we make when he's left us with nothing to go on beyond arguments, claims, hypotheses, unproven and perhaps unprovable, without anything conclusive, demonstrable, or repeatable to go on. What God needs from us, if he really does care about us freely choosing, is our informed consent. That's the idea that we all need enough information to make a free and informed decision. And we don't have anything even close to that. If God really is just, my lawyer is going to have a field day with that when I stand before the bar of God's eternal judgment. She's a total beast. Though not the beast, obviously. I don't think. Once again, I'm me. Thanks for watching.